Hey, this is Rob. I'm going to be watching some of my gameplay from tonight, and I'll just be talking through a lot of my mistakes, identifying my mistakes, and then maybe talking about and identifying things I did right. Just talking through the gameplay. That's it. I'll turn the volume on. I'll try to keep it low, and then actually I'll try to speed through. I have it on 1.5 right now. Sometimes after we do matches, I like to look at the recordings and see what did I do right, what did I do wrong, so that's mainly what this is. Actually, I want to see what our comp was. Let me go back. What do we have? We're playing on Hollywood. So I'm on the D.Va, Sunny's on Junkrat, not Connor, Caleb is on mckree, Jamie's on Mercy, and then Taro's on Orisa, and Seed's on Zenyatta. And we're on defense. Oops.
No, not right now.
So at the start of the match, I tried to just get some free ult charge by spamming their choke with the missiles. Sometimes you can get like 5 or 10%, so it doesn't hurt to do it. You're relatively safe. Actually, I realize this is way too fast. I'm going to go back. Bring it back to normal. I just rewound after the micro missiles. So I normally position here as D.Va just because it's kind of close. You need to be close to do damage. You're also just trying to defense matrix bulk of the damage. Wow, this is going way too fast. I'm actually going to go kind of slow. Because there's so much happening like at once. Let me try to rewind a little bit.
Okay, there we go.
So slow now. Maybe I'll slow it down when the action happens. Like this part, this is where it starts to get kind of crazy. So you can see that the enemy is almost at the choke already. So I think what I do is I just try to position here just as a threat. It's probably a mistake. I probably shouldn't be showing myself like this. If they have a Roadhog, he could easily hook me in, and then I just lose my mech. I see the Zarya. Actually, let me go back. Let me see what happened here. So when they show, I see the Zarya, so I started spamming micro missiles into the choke of where they're coming from, but as soon as I see the Zarya bubble, I turn my attention away from the bubble and I start shooting the other enemies that are going off to the right over here. And then aside from that, I think I see the... Wow, it's really hard to hit pause and play on this thing. Let me go back. Okay, there we go. I haven't set the spacebar now. So micro missiles, Zarya bubbles, I start shooting the other people on the right. I see the D.Va start charging in at me, and I also notice that I'm starting to get low on life, even though Jamie's healing me, or the Mercy's healing me. So that's the time for me to back off. And I try to look for a new position to either retreat to or threaten, which is probably why I think I go up top here. The reason I go up top is because I know that some of the enemy were going to the right, which means that they could be going up the ramp, so I need to be able to defend against that. And now that I have the health back, I can actually try to contest that a little bit, so I try to go up to the top. Actually, when I think about it, this might even be a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't position my D.Va up here. But I like to be able to see kind of everything that's going on. I did get slept there, which is probably why that's a mistake. But I like to see where the enemy is. And even here, so it's a good thing I was up here because as I thought, one of the enemies did come up, and our Junkrat was coming up here to join me, and he got stunned, and so I was able to defense matrix and save him in this location, or in this spot. So it was good. I think I saved him. Yeah, I did save him. And then I'm just trying to. My tracking's horrible, but I tried to do some damage to mckree. He was getting pocketed, but and so I knew I probably wasn't going to kill him, but just to put damage on him and provide that threat, I think is good enough. I see the Zarya go up, so I try to boop her off. Nothing special there. As much as possible, I don't like to have enemies on that second floor, or not the second floor, the top of that building on Hollywood, because as soon as the enemy takes position there, your team loses ground. It's just bad. You want to hold this high ground if you can. You want to keep the enemy kind of isolated to this choke as much as possible. So now I guess they switched to a Genji, or maybe they've always had a Genji. I check security room occasionally just to make sure that no one's trying to sneak through there or go through that choke. And the reason I do it as the D.Va is because I'm the tank. I don't want my Mercy to check it. I don't want my Junkrat to check it if he doesn't have to, because you never know when a Hanzo arrow is going to come through. You never know if a hook's going to come through. It's always better if the tank checks it, or that's my opinion anyway, or that's what I'm thinking anyway. So I noticed there, let me back up here. So I checked security, and then I checked the main choke, and I noticed that they're sort of committing to the push. There's a lot of them there. I'm already starting to take a lot of damage, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to fly back to my team and just try to look for another position to take up, because if I stay there, I'm going to die. I'm going to lose my mech, and that's bad. Then I go back to my team, and again, I guess I could just go back up to the high ground. If I was faster, I probably could have saved that McCree from the sleep dart. Again, just trying to take high ground, and it looks like our Mercies... let me back up. Let me slow down a little bit.
Nice kill on the Mercy.
So our Mercy... So I'm here now, and that allows our Mercy to come up here and res the McCree that just died. Because I was up here, the Mercy was able to fly up and get the res. And I can protect her while she's resing, so it's all good. It's very good to take this position up top.
Let's finish this off.
Trying to track the Genji, trying to just do damage. Now that I saw that the D.Va's also up there, or sorry, let me take a step back. When it was just Genji up there, I feel confident in the 1v1 against Genji. I should win that fight because all he has is shurikens and dash. If he uses reflect, then I just stop attacking. And I don't know. D.Va should just win that fight. But since I saw the other D.Va fly up to the roof also, or not the roof, whatever that high ground is, I know I can't win that fight anymore. Even with the Mercy resing our McCree, even with the McCree there, it's just kind of dangerous. I can't protect the Mercy and the McCree, and it's dangerous for us to try to get enough damage on there, especially with the McCree coming off of res. So instead, I just try to look for another target, so I think that's why I'm going for this Ana. Maybe I shouldn't have abandoned my my McCree and my Mercy, but that's the decision I made, so it might have been a mistake. I think I decided to go for the Ana, but I quickly realized I don't have the life for it. I'm taking too much damage, and I try to retreat, but I don't retreat in time, so that was probably a mistake.
There's one.
Once you get into baby D.Va form, you're just trying to retreat and get your mech back. That's what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is, I know there's a lot of shields, just like we saw a while ago. There's a Zarya bubble. Let me see.
Anna.
So, over here I see the... No, I didn't see it. Let's see. What was it? I lose my mech, and I turn and look. I see the Zarya bubble, and I thought I saw a D.Va as well. I guess I didn't see any targets there, so what I'm thinking is Yana's probably not going to see me if I try to shoot her. I don't know why I hesitated here. I think I was just worried about dying. I'm just trying to play that security room and be annoying because from here I can shoot targets that are coming out of main choke as baby D.Va, or I can switch back and go to try to harass the enemy healers that are on the far back line behind that blue car. I think that's why I try to position here. It's kind of aggressive. I don't think it's actually the right play, but it's what I did, so whatever. I think I'm just being greedy. See, like, Mercy's here, the baby D.Va's here. You distract them a little bit too. It distracts them from healing their team a little bit. Now I'm close to getting my mech back. Trying to escape because I'm so close to mech. There's so many times where you just want to, if you're above 90%, you just kind of want to play super safe and make sure you get the mech back. And then let's see what else is going on here. McCree's low, so chase him down. Yep.
Genji behind us. He's gonna try to blade.
My team did a good job getting him low. After I kill the McCree, I try to use the remainder of my boost to try to start harassing the enemy backline, which I guess is the Ana. She gets a sleep on me, which is unfortunate, but it's fine. It happens.
Yeah.
Not much you can do there. I think I tried to defense matrix it, but I failed. I think my team did a bunch of damage there, and I just finished it off. Not too bad. And just having the D.Va kind of in the face of the enemy backline, it's a big threat, so I guess it's okay. I mean, it's not great that I got slept there, but... And then at this point, our team calls out that a Genji got through, so just trying to look at our team comp. I don't know for sure, but I think since I'm the most mobile person, or what am I trying to say? Based on the heroes that we have, I think the D.Va is probably the most equipped to deal with the Genji right now. So I feel it's my responsibility to go get him, especially since I'm so mobile. I'm a tank. I should win the 1v1 against Genji. All the other characters on our team are probably not as mobile or probably can't win the 1v1. So that's why I just decided to go chase him.
Second floor cafe.
And then we find him here. Gets pocketed by the Mercy. He reflects, so I stop firing. At that point, once he dashes away and I'm out of my boost, I can't pursue him anymore. He's probably going to go get a health pack and be up to full. I'm going to waste time chasing him. And also, during this whole time, the enemy team is probably about to res and start their attack again, which is why I'm about to throw ult here. I should be using my ult here. So I see the enemy come through, and the reason I start dashing this way is because I saw in the Overwatch League something that Poko does, is in order to sort of get a shorter toss and a quicker toss on his D.Va bomb, he kind of dashes away from the enemy team first, and then he dashes into the enemy team and then throws his bomb, and you'll see that here. So let me kind of rewind it a little bit. And it kind of gets a better angle. Okay, so let me rewind, and we're going to go back to the cafe.
Someone's in my trap.
And then I see the fight happening, so I go that way first, and then I go back into the enemy team. And I'm just taking a guess. I'm just guessing that the enemy is going to be there. I just happen to get 3 kills. It worked out, but it could have totally not worked out. So just kind of calculated risk, I guess. And then, as you can tell from voice comms, like I know that 3 of the enemy team members are dead. I know that the Genji is probably on the backline somewhere harassing, but I'm still trying to demech the D.Va, and I'm trying to call for us to pursue the D.Va, because if we can break her out of mech, then it's better for us. It's a huge stagger, and it should be an easy stagger because we just killed 3 of their enemy team members already, so it should be safe, relatively safe for us to try to pursue this. So that's why I make the call. And then I don't want to venture too far out. Maybe we could have chased a little bit more, but that was all that I was willing to do. You can kind of see the enemy teams starting to respawn and come back anyway, so it was probably a good idea that we bailed early. This is their next push. They're coming main gate. I see the D.Va go up top. So then my response to that is, oh, I better go up there too, because we can't just give up the high ground, like I said before. So I try to dive up there too, but as I dive up there, I see the enemy Junkrat also decides to jump up to this high ground as well. And if I have a choice between attacking the enemy D.Va or attacking the enemy Junkrat, I go for the enemy Junkrat because it's more likely that I'll get a kill, especially since he has the Discord orb on him. So I try to go for this kill instead, and I think I get here with help. So he dies, and then I saw the trap there, and I'll deal with it later. So now that the Junkrat's dead, she doesn't have a lot of damage up there. It's me plus the support of my team taking on the D.Va, so she's probably backing off. Taro's doing a great job, by the way. I just want to say also, the rest of my team's doing a great job playing as well. It's not all me. I'm sure I'm getting plenty of help from my team. Like Taro's doing a great job on the Orisa and stuff. So, and everyone's really doing good. So, plus I think the enemy team is probably a much lower SR than we are. So we kind of stomp them, but whatever, it's fine. When I come back up here, I remember the traps up here, so I just destroy it because you never know. And then try to kill D.Va. Wow, that D.Va was just standing there. I think we should have probably just staggered her instead of killing her, but...
Yeah, always kill Zarya, man. Don't let her get
the next fight. I think we're just waiting. Okay, so the next push comes in. I see the McCree trying to get damage. So I started spamming damage here, but I quickly back off because the enemy McCree does more damage at long range than I do, so I'm just going to be feeding him ult charge if I stand there. So I think I back off here, which is why I use this wall as cover a lot of the time. Enemy Junkrat spam comes in, and whenever enemy Junkrat spam comes in or any enemy damage comes in, I just try to tap the defense matrix like for 1 second just to cover that initial burst of damage that's coming from them. You don't have to hold defense matrix down the whole time. In fact, I don't recommend it in situations like this because normally if you just tap defense matrix, you'll absorb enough damage to at least help and also to at least prevent lethal kills on your teammates. So just tapping defense matrix every now and then is really good, especially when they start spamming like that. Looks like they have a Rhine now. I back off a little bit because I don't want to get too close to the Rhine, and I'm also in a Rhine v D.Va match. The Rhine can't do anything to the D.Va at far range. The only thing the Rhine has is Fire Strike and Charge. So if he Fire Strikes, it's really easy to defense matrix, and then if he charges, it's really easy to fly away or just dodge it and then keep shooting him. So there's nothing the Rhine can do to me at far range, so I just back off and just keep trying to shoot him, breaking his shield. The reason I go for the enemy backline is because it looks like the enemy has already committed to the fight. So I know the Rhine is going to push in. I can't block the Rhine 100%. So instead, what I decide to do is I just do a counter dive. I go for the enemy backline. It's been successful in the past, so that's usually what I do whenever the enemy commits to a fight. So I'm trying to go for the Ana. I probably could have done better there, trying to kill her. I think I got scared because last time I got slept, and I didn't want to get slept this time. I probably could have been more aggressive, but it's okay. Oh well. Then just kind of coming back. So this time, I guess I go back for the Ana because I don't see where the enemy Rhine went, so I don't know which direction to defend. And I think it's just better that I go for the Ana anyway because she should be isolated at this point. The Zarya was pretty far away, so Ana's not going to get much help. And Ana decides to use the grenade here, and then I just happen to get lucky and use the defense matrix when she decides to use her sleep dart. And at that point, she has no more resources. So with me being at, 450 health, and then she barely has a tick left, like, I have to finish off the Ana. It's an easy kill. And then as soon as the Ana's dead, then I turn around, look for other things to fight or other things to help my team with. I think I go in. I think here I noticed that the point was being contested, and my Orisa was over near the front choke, just as we saw. So I know that I have to defend the choke. Here, watch.
Was that Ryan done?
We killed the Ana.
Sorry.
And then I turn here, and I notice that Taro's playing the Orisa over here, but the point's starting to get contested. McCree's all the way up front, or Caleb's all the way up front with the McCree. Jamie's over here, but he's playing Mercy, so he can't reliably just defend the point all by himself. So then I know there's a fight going on the left side. I know there is. But I know that the point's being contested, so I decided to go to the point instead of helping with that fight. It seems like our team already had that fight won, so I immediately go to the point. And lo and behold, there's a Rhine here, and he decides to charge, and so you immediately just try to dodge. I didn't fully dodge, but that's okay. Rhine's dead according to the kill cam. At this point, the fight should be won. We've already killed most of the people. At this point, it's just cleaning up. This McCree flashes me. Probably do better on tracking. Oh, Jamie steals the kill from me. And that's it.
Good hold, guys.
Alright. Just gonna fast forward to the attack.
I haven't seen one of those.
Let me back up a little bit. Alright, so I think I saw Fire Strike, so I know that there's a Rhine. We get the Hanzo arrow, we can see a little bit more. I see the Zarya. Whenever I get to the choke, I just I didn't see anything that I could immediately dive, and I'm just trying to scout here, see what's up top, see what's on bottom. I just spam the micro missiles for some damage. Trying to break Rhine shield. I see the Tracer. Again, immediately, as soon as you see the Zarya bubble, I just try not to. I just aim off in a different direction because I don't want to charge her up. It looks like they're backing off, so at this point, I feel comfortable walking in. I'm at good health. Everyone else on the enemy team is backing off. The McCree is all the way up here on the high ground, all by himself, which is probably. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm probably going to dive this guy. He's a good target because the Zarya, I think, already used some bubbles. McCree has no mobile tanks that can help him by jumping up here. And then the rest of his team is back there by Cafe, so I'm probably going to dive this McCree. And that's what I do, especially since Steed used the Discord orb on McCree. And then since I already cast micro missiles and the McCree bailed from high ground, it's a little risky for me to look over the top here just by myself. I know Jamie's healing me, but I don't do a lot of damage just by looking over the high ground. And there's a good chance that I could take a lot of damage from the McCree or some other characters. So instead I just focused the micro missiles across the street, or across the ways over to the Ana. Try to get some damage. At this point, the Ana's kind of lit. She's a little over half health, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to dive her, but I just do a check. I look at where my team is, and then I look back at the Ana, I guess. I don't know. I think I'm just waiting at this point. I'm waiting for a good opportunity to dive a target, and you kind of use the high ground to scout and look at where the enemy team members are, the enemy heroes are. So like Ana's up top, mccree's here, Mercy's here. I'm probably going to dive the Mercy or the Ana at this point, but we'll see. I forget what I did. Probably go for the Ana. So I went this way, mainly because I'm trying to get the Ana to not notice me. I went right, and I'm planning to go through this little window thing just to catch her on a flank a little bit. And it looks like our Hanzo did a bunch of damage to the Ana, so she's super easy to kill now.
Ana's one, Ana one.
And then after killing the Ana, I don't know, the obvious target is the McCree. He's lit. He doesn't see me. Easy to kill him. Just trying to follow him at this point. He's getting healed by the Mercy, so I try to dash in and just boop him a little bit, do some damage. And then I'm actually going to refocus to the Mercy because I can't kill the McCree if he's getting pocketed by the Mercy. And it's better if I kill the Mercy anyway. She's a better target. So trying to track her, not doing a fantastic job. And then I'm going to rewind a little bit. What I did there was I tried attacking the Mercy for a little bit, but I can't ignore the McCree completely because he will kill me eventually. So halfway through attacking the Mercy, since my defense matrix is at full gauge, I guess, I turn and just try to block a couple shots from the McCree just to keep myself alive. Because there's no healers none of my healers are going to be by me. I dove way too hard, and it's unlikely that I'm going to get heals at this point, so I have to try to keep myself alive. And the Mercy's kind of already escaped at this point, at least for me to try to catch her. So, defense matrix on the McCree. Oops, let me rewind here. Defense matrix on McCree. Turn. I see the heal beam, so then I look for the Mercy again. And it looks like she's at low HP, so she's good to focus. It looks like Sunny killed her anyway, so I didn't have to do anything. And then at this point, Sunny looks like he's just terrorizing from the sky and getting a bunch of damage. So now I'm able to finish off, or help finish off some of the kills here on the Mercy and the McCree.
Okay, that should be it. Good job.
If you'll notice, I didn't do a lot of damage there. Sometimes it feels like I do, but I didn't. I guess while watching this replay again, you notice that Sunny on the Pharah was actually the one that did so much damage to the Mercy, and then I just kind of helped finish her off. Same thing with the McCree. He did a bulk of the damage. I just helped to finish off the McCree. But I guess the good thing is, D.Va, is I was keeping the Mercy and the McCree occupied, so that allows Sunny to get in there and do damage freely, so he doesn't have to worry about the McCree, because he doesn't have to worry about the McCree. So I guess that's good. And then again, just our team cleaning up.
I killed the Tracer twice.
That's the end of the point.
It's kind of bad that has the Tracer.
Alright, that's that one. Fast forwarding to the next one. We're in queue for a while. Okay, so this is Route 66 we're attacking. Here's our team comp: D.Va, Tracer, Genji, Mercy, Zenyatta, and Winston.
They have a Mercy flag.
I'm just going to fast forward. Oh, I guess we switched to Pharah? Yeah, I guess we switched to Pharah. When I come out, anytime you come out of spawn, it's not a bad idea to just tap Defense Matrix. You never know when some spam's gonna come flying out of spawn. And then I just happen to notice the trap here, so I just kill the trap. Normally I get hit by those. When I push the cart up on Route 66, I try not to actually peek out. I try to stay behind the cart and play it safe until the moment we have to start looking and have to go around this turn. I just think it's safer. And so we know, oops. So we can see that a bunch of the enemies up on the roof. I think what we're waiting for here is Jeb is going to jump in and try to look for a target because he's on Winston, and then as soon as I see him dive, I'm going to follow after him because that's my job. We're supposed to dive together and focus the same target. But as we dive, I think Sunny asks, who are we targeting? Or someone asks, who are we targeting? And Jeb says, you know, he's not really looking for a target. He's just going in to do some damage, and then he's trying to get out. And I can understand what Jeb's saying, because as an off tank myself, that's sometimes what I do is like you dive into the enemy team and you may not know exactly which target you're looking for. Of course, you want to try to hit the Mercy, but in a situation like this on the roof of 66, like it's super hard for a single tank to jump up there and kill something. So I think we're just going to try to go up there to disrupt and then back out, or at least we're going to try to. We'll see. So mckree is it, or whatchamacallit, or Genji. Let me pause this. So Caleb on the Genji is able to get up on the roof to help us out. And then since he's so close, I guess that's when Jeb decides to jump in. And because he jumps in, I jump in. And then I think Sunny's probably behind us shooting rockets as well. And then we're looking for targets to kill, but I think it's hard at this point to find a target. And I just kind of... Sometimes I don't think I should just kind of dive through the entire enemy team like that. It does disrupt the enemy team, but sometimes I think it messes up my teammates' shots. So I have to be careful about that. Luckily, the Mercy wasn't in there. Imagine if the Mercy was here and I pushed her off the roof into this back side of the building. Then it'd be much harder for my team to kill the Mercy. So I think I should be probably more careful about that.
Well.
And actually, let me rewind here. I want to hear what Jeb says. I think he says he's not really looking for a target. I'll include him.
Get in here. Sitting up top.
I'm just gonna let this play out, and then you guys can listen to what we say.
Work on the barrier. Okay, use damage boosted too. Just gonna feather this.
Keep it this one.
Who diving? I mean, who dive? Keep going.
I'm just kind of doing a little bit of damage before I get back up immediately.
See, Jeb says that he's just going to do a little bit of damage and then back up. And Jeb can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're just trying to disrupt it, do a little bit of damage, because it's hard. It's really hard to focus down a target up here if you don't know exactly what's up here and you don't know exactly where the Mercy is. I think that's all we did there. And then it's hard for me to break through that barrier. I'm running low on health. I back off. So it looks like we lost our Genji. But then we somehow killed the Orisa. And then here we noticed that, I think we noticed the Junkrat's low on cart, so we focus that. D.Va's the only target that's nearby and she's low, so we focus that. Really, I guess Sunny's killing everything.
I got the Mercy, dude. You have too many calls. Who's doing the calls?
And then Sunny makes a good point here. Like before on the other map on Hollywood, I think Jeb was making most of the calls on Hollywood, but then we may have had Jeb and Seed calling on here, which happens. Seed's usually the one that calls Discords, and then I don't know, Jeb was calling last map, so it happens.
Right.
Nice
I'm gonna
calls.
pause. So here, let me back up. I want to say something here.
I got the Mercy, dude. You have too many calls. Who's doing the calls? Seed or Connor?
Okay, so the Orisa pops out. She's low, and maybe I shouldn't have gone for the Lucio here. I think I should have went straight, and because I had boost ready, everyone knew that the Orisa was low. I think they're gonna kill her anyway. But
who's doing the calls? Seed or Connor?
yeah, Orisa goes down. She's low. Soldier's coming up. Jeb is by himself, but he's getting pocketed, and then people are helping him too. But he's almost dead. Yeah, I think I should have gone for the Orisa there. Because the Lucio's not going to kill anything by himself. I think I just got distracted by the Discord orb on the Lucio. And also the Orisa put her barrier up, so I just felt like I should go for this Lucio. But that was probably a mistake. I should have probably gone for the Orisa, because Lucio's not going to kill anything. And I had boost ready. I could have totally supported the front line. And then came back to kill the Lucio, but whatever, it happened. I think I was thinking the Lucio's going to die super fast. And it looks like our Orisa, the enemy Orisa got killed anyway by our Mercy, but we're fine. And look, see, I haven't even killed the Lucio yet because my tracking's bad, but everyone else cleans it up. Alright, next fight. Actually, I think they're going to try to contest here for some reason.
D.Va's flying in.
For some reason, the enemy D.Va flies in. That's really bad. I don't know what she's trying to do. She's just giving us ult charge at this point. Like there's no way she's gonna hold it by herself. And then the 5 seconds that she delayed us from getting the point, I don't think it's worth it. She just fed us a bunch of ult charge. And then here, actually here my my game was starting to lag, so I step off to the side and I try to like fix my, I don't know, my frames per second or something. I think I sit on the cart here just because we need someone to move the cart. I know Seed's here. Maybe in a different game, and I was thinking about this while this was happening, like, you notice that all 4 of our teammates are up front, and Seed's back here pushing the cart, which is totally fine. I think I probably should have been closer to our other 4 teammates, helping to get stagger kills and helping to get just get stagger kills, because the additional speed at which we move the cart with 2 people versus 1 isn't worth it. Like, I should be up there with the team helping them, but I don't know. I think I was just getting lazy. However, I think I do boost in as soon as I hear something. Hold on, let me see what happened.
I'm just sitting top. I'm waiting for my cooldowns. Alright, I'm going in. I'm gonna get on the Zen.
Okay, so Jeb called he's going in, so that's my cue to also go in, even though I'm way far in the back. And I shouldn't have been way far in the back. I should have been up there with them. But since I heard him make the call, then I go. That's when I decided to dash, so I dash in. And really, we're just kind of rolling this team to get a bunch of kills. Arissa's all by herself. She has nowhere to go. She's boned.
Thank you.
And then after that, I notice my life is low. I go back to the cart because we got all the kills. I'm just trying to push the cart faster.
Mc's dead.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Deb's getting more kills.
And he got this Mercy.
We're doing really well now, but our last 2 games we got rolled. So this isn't just us crushing people. I don't know why this soldier felt like he should solo, run out and try to kill people. He's not going to get much done. As we push the cart up here, one of the places I like to play is if we have this entire section and the enemies coming through the choke, I like to play right here. There's a couple reasons for that. The D.Va is big enough to block this whole doorway, so a lot of times if a Mercy is trying to fly out to Valk or try to fly out to res a teammate or something, you can body block the Mercy in, and she gets caught in the corner, and it's an easy kill for you. The other reason is because D.Va being D.Va, you have a lot of health, you have defense matrix, you have the micro missiles, you have your guns. There's so many tools you have at your disposal to kind of block this area and prevent damage and to do some damage. So it's just a good position for you to be in if you're D.Va. It's worked for me anyway. I don't know if it's that great. I think it's great. It's worked out. Because the enemy usually has to come out of this choke.
There we go, checkpoint.
You might as well be up here. Your teammates can push the cart.
I'm gonna push up. They're probably gonna be set up on trailer. I can make some space.
And then here I make a mistake.
They're on the low ground right now.
Yeah.
So the mistake comes later when I ult. But what I was looking for there is, even though I look forward, I think I look back to the right a little bit, just to make sure that no one's. So I always check that back right side just in case an enemy flanker tries to flank our healers or something. That way I'm ready to defense matrix and save them.
Yeah, I'll push cart.
And so now here the enemy D.Va uses her ult, and I dove in thinking that I'm gonna go in and kill the enemy baby D.Va, or I'm gonna find a Mercy or something. And I wasn't expecting us to lose 2, which is why this ult here is a mistake. I should not have ulted there because we've already lost 2. I don't know if we're going to get a res or a Valk off, and it's just really bad. I shouldn't have ulted. I should have just died and then reset with my team at that point. I should have saved the ult. We happened to get the Orisa, but I was just kind of lucky.
Got him, I got him.
So the reason I go right here instead of left, I'm going to back this up. So we just killed the Orisa, and you see on the left-hand side, I can see the chevrons of my teammates. I know my teammates are on the left. I know they're in a fight, but I don't go there. Instead, I go to the right because I know that's where the healers are going to be, and I want to fight the healers. So Zen is probably your best target as a D.Va. So I try to go for the Zen, but since the Mercy's here, the Zen's probably gonna get pocketed by the Mercy, so I try to kill the Mercy, I think. I start shooting the Zen, and I start to turn towards the Mercy because the Zen was starting to get healed, but then I noticed Zen took a lot of damage, so I thought maybe I could burst him down if I tracked him well enough, but he starts getting healed way too much, so then I turn and focus my attention on the Mercy instead.
One shot to be
And then, I don't know why I turned, let me see what happened. I thought I keep switching targets.
got him.
Yeah, I go for the Zen, I look at the Mercy, she's still far away, and she hides. So I go back to the Zen,
One shot to be
and then now I'm close to the Mercy, and she's right there, so then now I start trying to shoot the Mercy. She flies away, unfortunately, I didn't body block her well enough, so that's on me, and then my dash comes up. So I try to dash behind so that way she doesn't see me coming. She probably knows I'm already there, but I don't know. I'm just trying to come at an angle where she won't see me. And now I'm behind her, so this should hopefully be easier. I know that the McCree used High Noon, but I'm too far away to do anything. So I instead focus my efforts on the Mercy.
That's fine.
Oh, I don't know why I tried to defense Matrix there. Maybe I was hoping that I could save at least somebody.
He missed.
I go for the Zen. I know that the Mercy is going off this path behind the blue truck, and she's probably stuck, which is why she's here. She was probably trying to fly to somebody, or I don't know, she's trying to escape, but she's probably back there by herself, which is why I go back here. At this point, I could go for the Mercy here, but I think she's about to escape, and I may not have the tools to... I do have micro missiles, but I may not kill her in one shot, and I'm also low on health, so I want to make sure that I'm at full health for the next fight, no matter what happens, because when we're taking this last point, the most important thing to do is stay alive. It's kind of like 2CP. When you take the second point, the most important thing for the attacking team is to just stay alive. As soon as you start losing people, that's when you're really going to be at a big disadvantage. So I think I grab the health pack here first, which I do, and then I go for the Mercy. And she's starting to get lit, and she's about at half. And at this point, I know the Orisa shield came up, but I think I'm calling to my team that the Mercy is lit.
Mercy?
Yeah, people are saying Mercy. People have already seen Mercy's low. And then that allows Caleb to go in as the Genji and finish her off. I'm just going to take some sip of water really quick.
Good kill.
After killing the Mercy, that's the cue for me to dive in. Or for everyone to really dive in, actually. Go for targets, Zenyatta ult. Even though Zenyatta's ulting, I still try to do damage. It builds up your ult charge, also causes some chaos. We're starting to lose members here. I think we're probably going to lose the fight. The one thing, I'm going to replay this, but the one thing I notice I'm trying to get better at is when we dive in for the fight, I'm usually in the middle of the fight because I'm D.Va, I'm a tank, that's where you want to be most of the time. And I need to be better about looking for the targets my team is focus firing on, because a lot of times I'll go in and it's just chaos, and I tunnel vision on kind of the nearest target, even if it's a Zen. And sometimes, or a lot of times, I probably shouldn't do that because there's probably another target that has Discord Orb that I'm not looking at, and I should be looking at that. So I gotta get better at that. I'm gonna rewind it so we can kind of see what happens.
Oh, you're dead.
I won't say anything.
I went in with the tanks to kill, and
At this point, we're dying, so let me see. Okay, so here's the Creole. I go for the Zen, then I go for the Mercy.
Good kill.
I don't have boost, I walk over to her. And then for this next sequence of events, I'm just going to not say anything so you can see me frantically not focus fire the correct target. And this is just an example of where I should have probably done better at looking for the better target.
One HP, shield is over.
Good kill.
I'm down.
I guess that one wasn't too bad. The Orisa was discorded. Then even here, the Zenyatta ulted. So we can't really kill anything. And I know I said it would be quiet, but I guess it's helping me more to just talk through it. At that point, I see the discorded soldier, so I think I'm trying to go for him. I turn around really quick because I hear I'm taking damage from behind me, so I just try to turn around really quick, make sure it's not like a Reaper or something. I know my defense matrix is out, but I still try to defense matrix the big bulks of damage when I can.
You want to doctor?
And actually, I think the Reaper was shooting me from the left there.
Yeah, the
Which is
more-
probably what demeched me.
Oh, you're dead.
Able to get the Zenyatta kill there,
Heal and I
but it's
got
not really gonna matter. Yeah, the Reaper was the one shooting me in the back.
I'm gonna die to that.
Also, I check tab a lot, just like a lot of other people, to see ult charges and stuff. The enemy comps,
I'm
our
caught out
comp.
of position. I'm gonna see if I can.
Just die or get out. Just you gonna risk.
And I think we're just trying to regroup at this point.
McCree.
And then I fast forward.
I'm gonna dive in. I'm gonna dive to Zen.
Alright.
He's top right at the moment.
Top right.
One of the hard things I feel like in a situation like this, where our 2 tanks are the dive tanks and they at least have 1 shield, I feel like it puts us at a disadvantage a little bit because we don't have a shield, a reliable shield, where we can kind of trade back and forth. It puts us in a position where we have to dive, which could be fine, but the onus is on us to make the play, I guess. And sometimes in a random pug, you don't always get teammates that will follow you in, and that can cause losses because you're not coordinated, etc., etc. So just a small observation there.
Yeah, as in on this.
The other thing here is they have a Reaper now, so we have to be super, super careful. Reaper destroys Winston, and Reaper actually destroys the D.Va as well. So it's really hard for me and Jeb to go dive the backline and kill a target while the Reaper's attacking us. It just makes it more dangerous for us. We don't survive as long, and we can't do the damage. So
Little punch, but yeah.
simple stuff. So instead of going for the Reaper, or instead of diving with Jeb, we see that the Mercy's kind of caught out of position here, so I try to go for the Mercy.
I see him. I can't
She's
get
pretty
him.
lit at this point. I can't track her through all of that, but it looks like Jeb was able to finish her off, along with all of our damage.
Mercy.
I see the soldier's low, so I go for the soldier. He does put down the heal pack, but I still shoot him anyway. I probably, again, this is probably one of those cases where I probably should have looked for another target that our team was focusing on, but I tunnel visioned and I attacked the soldier instead.
Yeah, let's go.
Whatever. I think I'm also planning to ult here because I know I'm probably going to die. I'm at low health. My Mercy's far away. She's not going to follow me in that deep, so I know I'm probably going to ult and just get another life, so I just die. And it looks like our Pharah ulted.
Hey.
I think I was just looking for targets there. There weren't any good targets as Baby D.Va, so...
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Reaper's coming
Looks
behind
like
you
those
guys.
targets in front were low, so I went for that. The only other target left is Baby D.Va. I tried to finish her off, and then I saw the Mercy come in. So I was looking for the Mercy. She got the res. I hear the soldier coming from behind us, so I try to focus the soldier. Actually, let me go back a little bit. I want to point something out.
On this little punch, but
Okay. So, let me go back just a little bit more.
Reaper's
So we
coming
killed
behind you guys.
those 2 guys. Now we kill the Baby D.Va. Okay, so I'm gonna finish off the Baby D.Va, and then I know that the Mercy's still in play. Baby D.Va's dead. Mercy, I know that the Mercy's back towards the cart because she's gonna go res someone. So I turn and look for the Mercy. Then I start getting shot in the back, and since my whole team is already focusing on the Mercy and the target she res, I decide that since I have defense matrix, I need to turn around and prevent damage because I don't want any of my teammates to die. It's so important for us on attack on this last point that none of us die, so I turn around. It's more valuable for me to turn around and try to prevent this damage coming from the soldier because I don't want the soldier to kill my Mercy. I don't want the soldier to kill my Pharah. It's just better. D.Va's the one that is supposed to prevent the damage here. I'm just trying to be annoying on the soldier. It stops him from attacking my teammates. I die here and get demeched, but at least my teammates are alive, although it looks like he died. We're just trying to finish off targets. Caleb gets a great tracer bomb. Somehow the soldier kills himself. At this point, it's still kind of a iffy fight, but it looks like we're winning. Kill the Moira. They're kind of trickling in one by one at this point.
The Mercy's one.
Is it still wonderful?
Okay. Yeah, we're still winning this fight.
Soldier comes back. Yeah, this is over at this point.
Got the checkpoint. Oh, no, there's a Reaper on the point.
Yeah, Winston ult.
Yeah, this is over.
There's one.
Ryan's dead.
I'm on the Moira.
Reaper doesn't have anything.
Moira
Kind
down.
of rough.
Okay,
Or
we
not
got
maybe
it.
too rough, but feels a little long.
together.
Yeah.
We're on defense here. Oh, I want to point something out. So we're running a sombra. I was a little worried about running sombra at first, actually. I didn't think it was a good idea, but you'll see in this video we kind of make it work. Caleb's a great sombra, and he makes some really good calls about how to combo our ults together. So when we get there, I'll make a note of it. Actually, I'm going to take a quick break. I need more water. All right, I'm back. Also, I kind of apologize for this kind of being a little sloppy. I'm also kind of not stuttering, but could be speaking more clearly and concisely. So I'll try to get better at that. But
I'm gonna trap.
I'm doing this casually too, so there's a part of me that doesn't care. But whatever, it's fine.
Well, I'll have both.
I'll fast forward to get to the fight.
Jump right.
Again on defense, just trying to position myself to be able to use micro missiles at their spawn as soon as they open the doors. I saw this from Low-Key Nerd, and it's a solid, easy strategy. Something anyone at any level can do. So look at that. Got a quick 10% ult charge.
I hear a bastion.
So that's pretty good. Oh, and then Jeb calls out. He hears the bastion. I see the Orisa, and then at this point I see the bastion as well. So I just call it out to my team and let them know the bastion's there.
Oh, I got.
So Sunny gets killed, and you'll hear in the comms, but this is our cue to not go in, especially since we lost our Junkrat. We can't fight the bastion at this point. So we all just back off.
That fucking sucked.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. There's no way I can get out of that.
Alright, we need to...
Bastion tag. Bastion tag.
Alright, I'm on the Mercy.
The Trace is behind us.
I don't know why I decide to jump in there. I guess it's because our Mercy rezzed our Junkrat. They both die immediately afterwards, but since they went in, I think that's why I decided to go in. And let me just kind of back up a little bit.
Bastion tag. Bastion tag.
Oh, I remember now. I guess Caleb called out that he hacked the Bastion, so and we got the res, so I guess we try.
Alright, I'm on the Mercy.
Connor calls out he's on the Mercy, but I don't see the Mercy. I just tell vision on whoever this is, the closest target to me, which is bad on my part. That's a mistake. I can easily see the Mercy beam, so I should be going after the Mercy, but I don't. And then I guess after I land, I finally focus the Mercy.
Behind us. I got
one.
I track her down because I'm D.Va.
We need to
and I
regroup now so we can regroup now.
Even though we killed the Mercy, we lost a lot of people. You can hear Jamie in the background calling for a regroup.
Bastion, we need to dive together.
I'm just trying to get away. Fast forward, see if I can.
Pulling back.
Yeah, we're just waiting. Yeah, we're calling for the ball back. Alright, so here's... If you're ever trying... Sunny pointed this out, but if you're ever trying to find a way or an example of how to deal with a Bastion, or how to defeat an enemy Bastion on attack when they have Pirate Ship going, this next sequence is a decent example of how to dislodge the Bastion. I think I go in with only half defense matrix up, which is bad, but it's when we decided to go in, so I just went with it. I'm going to let it play first, and you'll hear the voice comms of us calling to go in and calling what we're shooting and things that are happening. I'll let it play first, and I won't say anything, and then I'll rewind and kind of talk through it afterwards.
Okay, so they're coming behind us, yeah.
Spotted. Dead.
Working on this Bastion.
Okay, I'm looking at the Bastion.
Guys, I can't.
I'm shooting him with
I
rocks.
can't.
Happening too early. And we're not killed.
Ryan.
Bastion's one. Dead.
Bastion's in.
Bastion's down. Get the mercy. Get the mercy. Got the mercy. We're good. We're good.
No.
We dislodged him. We're good. Jamie,
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it there, and I'm gonna rewind and I'm gonna talk through what happened. So, let's see if I can get it.
Me take away
I'm just gonna.
Okay, so we know. So at this point, we're all together. I know that we have our full six stack ready to dislodge the Bastion. I'm trying to get up close to the edge, just so I can kind of see what's on the cart, just so I can harass the Bastion a little bit, and also provide a little bit of defense matrix to my Junkrat that's behind me, because my Junkrat is going to want to do damage to the Bastions on the cart. He wants to start getting that damage down early in order to break shield and also just to pressure the Bastion. So as we jump over, I see the Moira's over there, I see the Orissa's in front, the Bastion's on the cart as well. Right now the Bastion's kind of looking at something down below, so I feel comfortable moving up and trying to harass a little bit. I use defense matrix kind of preemptively. I probably shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. Now they're starting to look at me. I think it was the Orisa fire that got me a little nervous. I shouldn't have been nervous. Orisa doesn't do too much damage to me. It's really the Bastion that's the bigger problem, so I should have saved more defense matrix for him.
behind us. Yeah.
I hide behind the sign again because now they're starting to focus me, and I've lost half defense matrix at this point. I'm starting to take too much damage, and I want to be able to have enough defense matrix to help my team when we dive onto the cart. And I don't want to lose too much health also when I dive the cart. I want to be at full defense matrix as much as possible and full health as much as possible. At this point, it's a slow advance just to start putting more pressure on the cart. And then when they make the call, I'm going to do the defense matrix on the cart. At this point, the Bastion's already focus firing me. You saw how much life I lost there in that fraction of a second between pauses, which is why I start to use defense matrix. Our team didn't call for us to dive the Bastion, but it's too late for me at this point. I was probably out of position. I probably shouldn't have been there, but it's already happening. So this is what happened.
Working on this Bastion.
Okay.
I was able to retreat using the defense matrix. I'm getting healed by Jamie, by Jamie's mercy, so that's good. But this is my misplay. I shouldn't have gone so far up, probably, knowing that we weren't ready yet, or not knowing that we weren't ready, knowing that we're gonna make the call soon, and I just mistakenly moved up too close. I shouldn't have taken so much damage.
I'm looking at the Bastion.
So now I heard Connor saying he's looking at the Bastion. I don't hear a call to go in, but I feel like this is the right time to go, just because they're already turning the corner. Like, if we're gonna go, it's got to be now, because there's not much more roof left. Like, once the Bastion passes this point, it's a lot easier for him to see what's on the roof and kill just stuff out in the open. So I just feel like I'm moving in here just because it's the right time. And I'm out of defense matrix.
I'm shooting him with a rock.
Somehow I live miraculously. I probably shouldn't have lived there. I probably should have gotten demec'd. I don't know how I lived. I know Jamie is healing me. I know Jamie is saying he can't dive in and stuff, and rightfully so. Probably it's super dangerous for him to try to keep me alive at that point. So I don't think he should go in. I think I just own up to my mistake, and I should have had more defense matrix, and I should have had more health here. For some reason, the Bastion doesn't focus me anymore. I don't know why. Maybe there was a bigger threat somewhere else. I think that's Jeb on the Hog, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's on the Hog. So the Bastion was probably focusing everything else that was on the roof, which is why I didn't die. But since the Bastion's looking over there, and I'm now behind the Bastion, I can start getting a little bit of damage with micro missiles and my regular minigun. So I start using micro missiles here. Bastion's dead. Our team must have focus fired him down somehow.
One dead.
Bastion's
Mercy comes in to try to res. She also used Valk. Since she was already in the area, our team probably started hammering her with damage, which is why she's so low. And then that allows us to finish her off.
down. Get the mercy. Get the mercy. Got the
You can hear the calls for get the mercy, get the mercy.
mercy. We're good. We're good.
No.
We
Then from there, we just clean up.
dislodged him. We're good.
We'll let it play.
Jamie,
I'm going to fast forward to the next part of the fight. It's
They're
getting
all
late.
behind the shield.
do it.
Alright.
Dumped Bastion. They're
Drink
not on
water
the cart
too.
anymore.
You ready? Do it whenever. Send it in.
Do it.
what happened there was Caleb on the Sombra called for me to use D.Va ult, and then right before the D.Va bomb explodes, he's going to use hack, destroy the Rhine shield, destroy the Orisa shield, and get a bunch of kills. And that's exactly what happened. So Sombra plus D.Va is a good combo. And we use it several times on Route 66. By the way, if you guys have not played with Caleb yet, he is fantastic. He's a great DPS and just a great positive attitude guy, and you would be lucky to group with him. So invite him into your next pug or your next comp game. I think we're just fighting at this point. I don't know if there's anything for me to kill. I should have defense matrix that. I don't know why that didn't work. I think they called for Mercy there. Let me see.
Mercy's hacked again and she's got Valk.
Yeah, Caleb called Mercy hacked. I tried to go for the Mercy here. I was probably too late on that. I probably should have gone faster because I know they have a Pharah. So I know as soon as the Mercy is not hacked anymore, she'll be able to fly up to the Pharah, and it's much harder to kill her up there. So I probably should have acted on that sooner. Just kind of focusing back to the main fight here. I just do a dive through the middle. Here, let me back up actually. I did not commentate this well. Alright, so Caleb calls, Mercy's hacked, I try to go for her, I missed. I do a little bit of damage. I look back at the main street, see what's going on there. The Rhine has his back turned to me, so I'm probably going to go for that, and this Moira as well. Go for the Moira. They call Moira 1, so I kill her. Enemy Mercy uses Valk, so she's probably going to res the Moira. I see the Pharah up there, but I don't think I can take her by myself because she flew straight up. It's hard to get that angle. And actually, I want to try to go for the Mercy since she's so close to Main Street, and the rest of my team's looking at the Mercy. So if we can kill the Mercy right after she uses Valk, that's a huge win for us. So I try to help focus her down if we can. We actually don't kill her, but we get the Rhine. I also dash through the bulk of the enemy team just for some extra damage. Because the D.Va dash does a little bit of damage when you dash through the enemy team, or when you dash enemies. After the dash, I just try to get back on high ground, but I don't know, I guess I fall or whatever. Enemy Reinhardt uses Earth Shatter. Try to kill the Rhine before he kills the pig. Enemy Pharah uses ult. I probably should have used Defense Matrix earlier. I think I heard the Pharah ult sooner.
Good job, guys.
So, I was trying to kill the Rhine. Seed had already used his Transcendence, so I guess we were protected from the Pharah ult already, but oh well. I run a Defense Matrix, but I try to finish off this Pharah. Punch her. Punch her at the end.
There's like 4 ults at once.
At that point, let me back up here. I'll just say something really quick about this. After we call the Pharah, I try to get health because I'm low on health. I notice, so our pig is off on Main Street. It looks like their team's still pushing with the Rhine shield. I don't want to be close to the Rhine. It's really bad for me. I don't win. In this situation, with him getting supported like that, I'm probably not going to win the fight, so I have to back off. Yeah, especially with the Moira and the Mercy there. So I back off. I happen to see this Orisa here. It may not be the best target, but the Bongo's there, so I just try to go for it. Bongo's down. I know I'm probably going to die. I didn't have a lot of health. Try to 1v1 the Mercy as baby D.Va. Kind of get her low. Half health. That's not bad. But, sometimes you can get the kill. I think most of our team was dead at that point. Or no. You were either mostly... No, maybe not mostly dead. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. We're probably going to lose the point at this time, so I think we're just going to regroup. As soon as they take the point, I think I wasn't sure where I wanted to position myself. We're going up against the Rhine and some other long distance stuff. I think I guess I just stay on Main Street. I don't know where I'm going to go. Usually taking high ground is better, so I think I eventually move up to high ground. I'm just trying to help break the Rhine shield. I eat that. I could have eaten that sooner. And I should be with my team. I shouldn't be here. I should be up here. not
They're- yeah,
that
they're
high. I
running
can't see
double
anything up
shields.
there, but I should be here on this little catwalk thing. And just trying to protect my team, trying to do a little bit of damage. We have the pharmacy, so I'm not going to be able to out-damage that, but we have a soldier, so hopefully it was okay. Hopefully he can do a little bit of damage. But with the Mercy pocketing the Pharah, we're probably not going to kill it at this range. I think we're just waiting. I think we're just waiting for them to get closer. Our team, yeah, Connor calls that they're on right side, so I know that the Rhine's back here, but I'm trying to go for the Mercy because the Mercy's healing the Rhine. So I go for the Mercy. She's, I missed a bunch of my shots there. She flew away. Hard. It looks like we focused down the Mercy. And then I noticed that something's on the roof here, so I go up on the roof. I guess one thing to remember as D.Va is like, you are one of the people that should contest high ground a lot of the time, because most of the time your team members are not going to have the ability to help contest high ground. So normally as a D.Va, you're a big fat tank. You can win most 1v1 fights against other mobile targets that can get on high ground, so it's pretty safe to try to contest whoever's up here.
There's one up there. I can't get to her. Move.
Yeah, and then as you can tell, Sunny called Pharah was lit up here, and he couldn't get up here, so it's my job to go up here and finish her off.
Thank you.
And if you'll notice, I already started moving up there, but even before Sunny called it, it just so happened that he did a bunch of damage to her, and I got lucky, and she was already lit for me to kind of finish her off. But imagine if you're in a game and your teammates aren't calling that stuff out. You kind of have to have the game sense of knowing that that's where you need to be at that time.
They're all
So,
right side.
There's one up there. I can't get to her.
mute.
Move.
I'm just gonna mute this really quick. So like, just based on, if you're playing with no sound, we kill the Mercy, and again, you notice something's up there, and I should have probably seen this rocket, so I should probably know it's a Pharah. And if you're gonna 1v, and like I said before, as D.Va, it's probably your job to go up there and contest high ground. And most of the time when you go up there, you're probably going to be able to win the 1v1 fight. So imagine who can get up here. It's like Pharahs, Genjis, Hanzos, even Winston. You shouldn't be afraid of Winston. Enemy Divas, if you're better, you should win the D.Va fight. There's just, if you just think about who could possibly be on this roof, you should win the 1v1 fight. So you shouldn't be scared of going up there to contest. And you want to contest it because you don't want them to just have free reign up here. You don't want them to be allowed to just rain damage on your team. So I go up and contest anyway.
Thank you.
Ryan dead.
After killing that, you just kind of look for the next target. I go back towards the cart. I see these guys. Just trying to do damage. Doomfist gets low because somebody hit him. Again, just trying to track. Doomfist is pretty low, so trying to finish him off. He has a Discord orb also. Enemy Moira's trying to escape. She faded there, and if you just think about where she could possibly go, sorry, one second. If you think about where she could possibly go, she was close to the saloon, so she fades right here. So she faded there, and she was looking this way. It's unlikely that she'll push further into our territory and try to fight, because she was probably low. She's probably going to go left towards the health pack and try to escape, which is why I turned left. And lo and behold, there she is. So we know she's over by the health pack, and the rest of our team knew also, so we go ahead and kill her. And now they have a Widow. Whenever there's a Widow on the enemy team, it's probably going to be your job as the D.Va to kill the Widow.
They dropped Pharah.
And then I think Caleb called for me to say when I'm going to use ult, so that way he can do the sombra combo again. So you'll see it here. 3, 2, 1, and then I try to do a countdown every time I do my ult, just to give your team a heads up, like, hey, it's coming, as opposed to just suddenly doing it and not giving your team any heads up. So at least this way they have a couple seconds to prepare, a couple seconds to think about where the enemy team is, a couple seconds to think about where the enemy team's going to move, how we're going to do damage to them, things like that. And then again, I do the poko thing there, where you kind of dash back a little bit and then go forward. so that way you get a shorter arc on the D.Va, or so that way your D.Va mech goes a shorter distance and gets a better arc on the enemy team. Because if I had just thrown the D.Va ult from the top of the roof straight forward, it probably would have gone too far, and that's not what I want. I wanted to make this kind of small arc over the roof onto this middle area where I have maximum coverage of like the main street, this little ramp, the inside of the garage, just gets better coverage. I don't even know if I hit it. Oh, I hit it a little bit better.
Nice combo, boys.
Sombra gets a great hack before my bomb goes off, so kudos to Caleb for getting the Sombra off. Sombra hack off. And then after that, you just kind of finish off targets like the Doom Fist or whatever else is around.
Oh, it's
Widow-
Top of the
spawn camp then.
house. You want the Sombra still or no?
Yeah, keep playing.
I noticed that Jeb is kind of playing super far forward, and he's Roadhog, so it's hard for him to escape, especially at that distance. So I figure I should go up there and try to defense matrix and try to save him if I can. I don't think he makes it out, but I think we try. Oh, maybe he does make it out. Oh no, he doesn't. He barely dies. And then after my defense matrix is up, the other tool I have available to me is my own body. So as D.Va, you're a tank, you have a lot of health, you have armor. Using the dash, you can dash forward to get in front of the person you're trying to save. Just be there for a couple seconds as a human shield, and then fly up and go back to your team. I'm just going to rewind it again so we can see it. Oops.
Spawn camp
Yeah, here we go.
House. You want the Sombra still or no?
Yeah, keep
here we go.
playing Sombra.
So Jeb's just going low, he uses his ult. I'm out of defense matrix, so I run forward, and I try to just be a human shield, but it's not enough.
No, don't do this.
The ultimate feed.
Just trying to do damage here as they trickle in. Again, I'm looking for a couple things here. As D.Va, your best targets are probably not the tanks that you saw first. Instead, I wait for the tanks to go forward because I know the enemy squishies are going to be following behind them. And as a D.Va, you want to be going for the squishies as much as possible. Excuse me, you don't want to be going for the tanks because it's just harder to kill them. So again, you see tank, they drop down. I start spamming damage on the Moira. You see the sniper's there, so that's when I decide to dive in. And it looks like the Mercy's also taking a lot of damage too. I probably should have gone for the Mercy here, but I go for the sniper because it's more reliable for me to get the kill. The sniper's probably going to be less mobile than the Mercy, so I just go for the sniper. So that initial dash is pretty good. The micro missiles hit, the miniguns hit, my dash hits. I think this next series, my tracking is poor, and it takes me a while to kill this
Ooh, they're dumping
Widow.
everything
And
on
she
this.
starts getting healed. So as soon as she starts getting healed, I can't kill her anymore because I don't have micro missiles. It looks like the enemy Mercy also used Valk. It looks like Moira also used Convalescence. So at this point, there's not a lot of good targets for me. I think I need to. When I turn, I'm looking for good targets, but I don't see anything. I think most of my team's dead here, and I probably should either suicide or just try to not die here. I go for the Mercy because I got a big chunk of damage on her. Might have been a mistake. Maybe I should have died faster. I think at this point, the enemy team didn't finish me off, and they continue to push cart. So what's going to happen here is my team is going to be able to attack them in bulk from the front, and then I'll be able to flank on the backside and kill a Mercy, hopefully, or harass some squishy target. I'm at half health, but I don't have time to get health anymore. The D.Va starts to go for me, so I immediately defense matrix because I know I'm not going to win that fight. I have to escape and try to avoid her and then go for a different target. Oh, and actually, I guess I decided to go for the health pack, which might be bad. My team's already fighting, so I'm kind of taking myself out of the fight. But if I go in with half health, that's maybe not good either. But in hindsight, I probably should have just gone in with half health because my team's already fighting.
Yeah, can we defend this? I have a visor.
Trying to go for the enemy Mercy because she's usually one of the best targets to go for. Trying to avoid the D.Va bomb. After D.Va bomb, look for next target. I I see this D.Va, but I probably shouldn't have gone for this D.Va. I should have probably spent another second looking for a better target. But oh well, it happened.
Visor right now.
I kind of tells tunnel vision on her.
I went in with visor.
Can't do much about Earth Shatter. I'm defense matrixing here because I know I'm getting attacked. I know I'm at low health. I have defense matrix as a resource, so I should use it and try to stay alive as much as possible. And yeah, I'm just prioritizing staying alive. I die anyway, but it's fine. The rest of my team's fighting. Mercy dies. She got killed by, I guess, Sunny's auto visor.
Hey, don't kill her, don't kill her, don't
Give
kill
this
her.
above. He's low.
This next part's kind of funny. We stagger the D.Va. She just sits by the cart.
But he's still on.
Where is she? She's hiding by the
He's on
cart.
cart.
Shit.
What a stagger.
That's a good. That's a good stagger.
Enemy team only has 13 seconds at this point, so that means we'll have a super big advantage in this fight. We just killed the D.Va, so it's definitely going to be a 5-on-6.
That was a good stagger.
Someone's underneath. Winston.
They have to contest point. Tracer comes in. I dashed in, but I probably shouldn't have dashed in. I think I was just trying to boop her off cart. But
He has no
it was
cooldown.
too early for me to do that.
I got him. I got him.
Moira is lit, so I just go for the Moira. I tunnel vision on her.
Mercy. Mercy's one. Good
I
job.
see the Discord, so I go for that. At this point, the fight's already won. That's it.
Genji?
I think I'm gonna split the video here for now.
Nice hack, dude. He's dead.
This video is getting super long. I'm gonna stop it here and start uploading it.
Man.
Yeah, that's it.